me. Generals gathered in their masses. Get out of the way.
Hello and welcome to Office Hours with Amber. I'm Amber and this is Office Hours Season 2, Engineering Improv. I'm going to make sure the audio's working and we're going to be off to the races. I'm a little tired today, guys. I don't normally start working at sharp like 8:30, 9 a.m. But today I actually did a full 9 to 5. Ugh. I'm more of like a 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. person. And so this whole 9 to 5 thing, not going to work for me. Perfect. Audio's good. We're done with that. Okay, we've got lots of updates. It's been quite the week. It's kind of crazy, like when you're not traveling and you have enough time to like calmly clean out the backlog of all of the things you've ever thought about ever. Things start to just clear up and like your brain's like yours again, which is so nice. But first thing I want to start talking about, because this is the most unrelated to what we're talking about in the video today, but I was asked by Catherine of Catherine Nails here in Kalamazoo if I would donate something to her grand opening of her head to toe day spa. So fun. Before I went to the Vegas conference, she had I had gotten a spray tan and I did like the full experience. It's so nice. It's got like a hot tub and then there's a sauna and they're like, they serve you like lemon cucumber water and they have like the whole cold towels, the whole thing luxurious, and they're so professional. And I'm like, spray tans spook me, but like they were so professional and so helpful and hilarious. So when she reached out, it was like, hey, would you be able to donate something for my grand opening? I said, absolutely. However, your clientele, I don't know if they're going to like super be excited about business diagnostic services, but if you're here coming from Instagram, welcome. If you followed me from yesterday's event, nice to see you. We're going to talk about plenty of other things today. But I ended up like submitting that, and then I woke up the day of the grand opening and I want to take like the next 5 minutes to talk about how much of a master class in grand openings this was. Like, I think if you think about normal grand openings for businesses, you think show up, there's probably a charcuterie board, you say some hellos, drop off a card, maybe a bottle of wine, you move on. That's normally what like grand openings in my mind for stores usually is, or like come see the services or, you know, whatever. But what happened, so I woke up the day, like for the event, I've never seen it like this before, but on the Eventbrite, there was 20-minute slots, which I kind of liked, because then you're like, you don't feel like if the event's from like noon to 4, that you don't feel bad if you only show up for like a little bit of it. It's actually like pre-scheduled that way. So 1, God bless. 2, morning of, I'm getting like dozens and dozens of new Instagram followers, and I'm like, who are you people? You know, when Patrick like sees all the people under his house in SpongeBob, like that's what I thought waking up that morning. I was like, where did you guys all come from? So I was like, okay, I'm going to the event anyway. So I go, you walk in and they had great instructions on the internet. Here's where to park. Here's what, like, you might have to wait outside for just a little bit, like great instructions. So you get into the event and then you immediately are given this little scavenger hunt card. And I wish I saved it. I don't know where I put it. You walk in and it's got the different stations. It smells wonderful there in there. It looks wonderful in there. All of her staff are in the matching same pajama sets. It's so cute. And so you get greeted by the owner, Catherine. She's like, okay, you're going to go through all of these steps and you have to do all of these, collect all these stamps to be able to enter them into the drawing next door at Coronado Tacos. And I'm like, 1, electric. You're like, by the people coming through your building, then supporting the neighbors, masterclass. So I go to the first station and she goes, hey, follow us on Facebook and invite all your friends to follow us on Facebook as well, especially for local service businesses. Fucking so smart, because yeah, I'll invite 1,000 people. And like they made it so easy. QR code, press this button, you're done. Stamp, move on. And while you're at these different stations, they kind of describe like, hey, welcome in. Here's the section where we do nails, or here's the section where we would do hair. So you go to the next station. This is where I found out why I'm getting followed all day. So we go to the next station and they're like, okay, follow our Instagram, and then follow all the girls, I'm imagining all of the businesses, like our partner businesses that donated services today. So you go through and follow everyone they follow. And so everyone was going through following all the people that donated, which most times when you donate something to like a giveaway, or if you donate something generally, I don't really expect anything in response. So that, again, third electric move already. Then you go off to the next section and you meet two of their hairstylists, and like you get to like commentate on like, can you do this service? Can you do this service? Active moment for question and answer. So cute. And then you go to the final service or the next station and you're getting stamps all the way around. Then you go to the next one and you get to talk about their body services and their massages and their spray tans and get to know those girls. And of course, they're all super professional, nice, smart, hilarious. And so that when you go to book online, you already know the names of the girls that you just met, which is so brilliant. Then you go to the last station, mimosas. They understand their market. Like, and it was a per good mimosa, I'm just going to say. And you get to chit chat with like a few of the other people. And then you go around and then you can go into the Coronado Tacos and, you know, put your raffle ticket in and see some of the other vendors. At that point, I had left because it felt a little weird to put my own raffle ticket into a thing that I donated towards. So I bounced. But regardless, that was just 10 out of 10 master class stuff, like grand opening. And like, I left so inspired. I was like, I've never thought this deeply or this strategically in my life. What am I doing? And that was a weird moment where I was like, so overwhelmed with like inspiration and like loving that there's someone so smart and so intelligent, like so strategic locally, that I like get to go get spa services from. She also has 2 nail salons, I believe. Anyways, but it prompted a weird thought in my head of the link to the bio for Catherine's head to toe spa is in, there's a link in the description for her Facebook page, which I suggest you guys all go follow because it's so cute, especially if you come to Kalamazoo. I love it. But anyways, that kind of prompted a new idea in my head, or rather another thought is, oftentimes with ADHD, emotional regulation is the quickest thing to kind of disrupt my ability to focus. And when you think of emotional dysregulation, you're thinking upset, mad, frustrated, angry. But you never really think about overly excited or happy or interested or inspired. That also makes it almost impossible to be able to focus. And so when I kind of lean in and say, I live a life to be content, calm, and peaceful with ease, truly it's because no matter if my emotions are up here or down here, it distracts from being focused. And so yesterday I was so inspired by like 600 new thoughts. I was like, I can't accomplish any of them, which was a weird moment to be so inspired. But then it got me into a weird moment of scarcity, which is so weird. It was strange because it wasn't in a way of she's so much smarter than me. It wasn't like that kind of scarcity. It was more of like I'm not moving fast enough, not implementing enough, not strategic enough. I'm not like doing enough. And it's like, whoa, girlfriend, relax. we gotta chill. These lessons have been like in the whole globe. I'm going to imagine this is not the first time a grand opening was so successful with so much strategic thought into it. So just because I just found out about how brilliant she is and like how brilliant it was yesterday does not mean that I've missed out on the opportunity to do that in the future, which is a weird thought process that I've been looking. It was a cool moment to look at my own thought process and say that, like, find a little nugget of scarcity that's still living in there instead of saying, wow, I'm so excited to be able to have the knowledge that I could implement in the future. My brain immediately went to, why didn't I think of that already? Which is gross, and we don't mess with that. So anyways, I thought it was a cool one. I wanted to give her flowers for such a cool thing that she put on. 2, also for indirectly inspiring me. And then 3, such a cool little moment that I had with myself. But anyways, additionally, so with engineering improv, each week I'm going to spin the wheel on some of my backlog business system tasks that I just need to bite the bullet and get started. Last week, I started looking at my entire backlog, and I have tasks and goals and projects and 300 different line items of stuff I could possibly do. And the reason why I was trying, oftentimes when I feel like everything is of equal priority, that's when my brain starts to be like, well, what do I even do right now? So the nice thing is I completely forgot. It's like, and it's March 2nd right now. So 2 months of the year already gone. And so going into 2025, I had such a firm plan of each month, this is exactly what I'm going to do, exactly where I'm going to go, and exactly, like, I had a plan. And this year, I didn't have that. And so thankfully, today, I have at least the next 3 months of planning. And I think I'm happy to kind of start attacking it quarter by quarter and like 3 months of it at a time. So in the middle of going through the backlog, and so each week with the engineering improv, I'm going to start something on the call, and then my task for the rest of the week is to finish that and bring it back together on Monday so I can give you updates on how it's going. And in good Amber fashion, I didn't complete the task, but I learned a lot of good things along the way. So what happened was I went to go review all of the backlog and recategorize and prioritize and put numbers to all of it, which I still intend on doing. But what I needed to do is like, Amber, you know, in your soul, in your bones, in your intuition and everything, you know what you need to do right now. Or rather, for the next quarter, you know what's going to be most impactful to drive forward. So what I did, and this is similar to what I'm doing with Good Trade Depot, is there's the idea of 3 kinds of targets. There's functional, financial, and project. And I made a little cutie monitor. Okay. So again, Catherine's headed to a spot. You should go see it and like it on Facebook. It's great. And then, okay. So as I was reviewing and going through, I did my physical 5S. So all of my notes, I'm down to 1 piece of paper, which is so good because that pile of papers last week was crazy. So physical 5S, done. She's good. All of my tasks live in 1 document. So they still look crazy, but we're much closer. And so now I can handle 1 column at a time. Email 5S, we are cleaned up. Each of my email inboxes is down to less than 30 emails per bin. And I went through and cleaned out all the spam folders and all of the deleted folders and all of the side unreads and everything. So that really cleaned out a lot of my brain. Then I, on Saturday, shopped till I dropped on organizational things because my desk was the physical 5S was still becoming an issue and my desk was just getting crazy. So I realized that I was collecting markers and pens and all this stuff all over the place. So now we just got this guy. Now she looks crazy, but she's much more orderly than she used to be where it was all over the place. Also, I found out that I have been anthropomorphizing all of my inanimate objects to be women. And I did that on a call earlier, and I called Excel a woman. Oh my gosh, Jack, hi. How are you doing? I was talking about Excel, and I was talking about Claude, and I was talking to Claudia. But I was talking to a man, and there's a podcast. There will be recording of this later, but he was like, oh, Excel's a woman? I was like, yeah, she's too fucking smart. That's like, that can't be a man. And then I realized, I was like, okay, we gotta chill. I've been watching a little bit too much TikTok. I digress. We're off the rails. So I physically 5S'd all of my desk drawers. I like organized everything. So I'm like, finally, it's like finding center. I'm like calm and cool. It was a little manic, but we're like finding center. So digital 5S, that's where I went through and I started piling things up. But what I found is 2 concepts is normally with action logs and backlogs and everything, I have the status of these action items as not started, in progress, completed. You'd think that's like pretty normal. But I forgot that I'm also kind of a process developer, a process creator, like I'm a builder. And so when I think about when I apply the way that I implement things in more of a development mindset, that's when I need to actually create development steps and stages that make more sense to that kind of project. And I had been trying to make everything fit the action log mindset, whereas and it'll make sense in a second. So, for instance, with projects, and if you're trying to create something, there's really, instead of not started, in progress, completed, it really has development stages like create, execute, test, train, implement, monitor, and improve, rethink. So, like, for instance, when I first started working with Good Trade Depot, I had to create a sales process or like design how do people walk through our process. Testing meant I personally was going to be executing the sales process for a while until I got the kinks out. Then I trained our sales and operations analyst on how to do that. And I monitored how she interacted with the process and how it all, like how our metrics were all kind of coming together. And then since then, we've improved and rethought about that process. So because there's so many things that we're building right now for Good Trade Depot and for Peach Profitability specifically, I have to realize that instead of making 4 separate tasks, or like there's probably a 5th one in there for like steady state, take it off the list, but well, I'm still thinking about it. But this all came because of the thing I did last week, and because I did it, because I started looking through my goals, projects, and tasks, this prompted an entirely new way of thinking of project management. And now if you're a classically trained project manager, I'm sure you're looking at me being like, you're dumb. And I'm like, you know what? It's fine. It's about the journey. So deal with that. So anyways, I'm excited though, because what we were having is we had a lot of short-term tasks in the middle of project tasks, in the middle of project stages, in the middle of this, in the middle of that. And it was getting so confusing. So I'm really happy to have new vocabulary to support where a process is. So for instance, we need to install or like create a dunnage process. So instead of having 4, like when we start to think of the dunnage process, instead of putting 4 tasks, we can just say dunnage process. And then the status is create design. And then as soon as that's done, we just toggle the status to execute testing. So then you already kind of preliminarily know what that is. And so it decreases the cognitive load of saying, I have 4 tasks on my to-do list. It's like, no, your to-do list is this stage of that project. So I digress. Additionally, so there's 3 kinds of, I'm deciding for myself and my businesses, there's 3 kinds of goals, targets. So projects, functional, and financial. And I see them in the way of proactive approaches, active approaches, and reactive approaches. So I see financials as a lagging indicator of the processes I've put in place. So if I'm not doing the functional steps of my sales routine, you're going to find out in the financials a month or so from now when sales haven't increased. A concept. Projects are the things that level up your functional. So that's where I'm creating new process. That's where I'm creating new systems. That's where I'm implementing token systems on a client platform where people can access it and know my schedule and whatever. Projects are where you're doing those heavy analytics and improving and uplifting, pushing it uphill. Functional is where you're kind of repeating what works. And I have not read any of these words. This was generated by Claudia. Don't fight me. I like it. She's cute though. Anyway, so I'm excited about the idea of having 3 categories of things to monitor instead of just making a financial target, because financial is lagging. That means if I'm not actually tracking the leading and active indicators of success, that means, yeah, of course, financials aren't going to be good. So, and this all ropes into the idea that when I was working with Dan Kuber at Sandler Training, he's a wonderful sales coach. The Sandler Training has the idea of the cookbook. It's what are the ingredients in the recipe that result in sales? So the ingredients that look like your prospecting activities. How many people, how many outreaches are you doing? How many cold calls? And it's the percentage of ingredients that you're putting in. So for some businesses and some industries, word of mouth, referrals. How are you setting those people up for success? Or like, how are you like enabling testimonials to come back to you? How are you using those in social media posts? Are you going and doing speaking opportunities? I'm ranting. Anyways, so I have decided in the next 3 months, in the next 3 months, I have specific targets and they're up on a whiteboard. That's why I'm looking this way. So my project targets is in March, and I'm only going to talk about March because I mean, I have March, April, May, and they all kind of lead into each other, which is on purpose. But similar to Office Hours with Amber, I had each individual month planned out. So what I realized is I still need structured things to work towards outside of engineering improv, because improv, like the engineering improv is getting me to face some fears, but there's still some things I still need like one chicken to chase all month, you know? Okay. So project, figuring out a token system and a scheduling platform. So with consulting, or rather with my markets, with people I've talked to, people who know what I do, people who know like generally the Excel girl, or things that they want to ask me questions about, the most frequent feedback I get is, you always seem so busy. I don't want to bug you. And like, I don't want to waste your time. And I never know when you're available. Which is my fault. And so and the problem is I've gotten this feedback actually even when I worked at Anheuser-Busch. I will always look busy because I always fill my container with time. And instead of just giving off a perception that I'm like not active, I don't want to give up that perception. I would rather people just know exactly how they can tap into the free time I do have, or the scheduled time I have for them specifically. So what I want, there's things like Acuity and Calendly and stuff like that. And I want a situation. The other thing about the other feedback I've received, or rather feedback I could feel coming down the pipe, is like, well, I don't know how much you charge. I don't know if the problem I have is worth the time or worth the money. And the other thing is, like, for instance, if I'm charging hourly and you have a 5-minute question, think about the moral dilemma you have. Like, oh, if I call her, is she going to charge me for 5 minutes of time? That's crazy. But in this day and age, like, I mean, technically that 5 minutes is just as worthy as the time, like my insights and what I have to tell you is worth the the 5 minutes. But I don't want people to sit with that weird anxiety of like, oh, am I going to get a bill at the end of the month because I called her? I don't like that. And administratively, doing invoicing at the end of the month sucks ass. And I don't want to keep track of phone calls like that. I would much rather a situation, and this is a direct, I am copy pasting from Gap Consulting. Let me see if I can. YouTube. I love Gareth and Gap Consulting. I think they are so smart. Consulting. Okay, I'm gonna put his. Oops. Uh-oh. Okay, putting that in the chat. I encourage everyone to go follow him. He's wonderful, and he has really sharp, understandable videos, and I love them. And in his videos, and like the methods in which he sells his services, like it's more of like he makes these tutorial videos, and he's like, if you need more help than you're getting in this video, go on over to my website. We could do this thing. And so I got this idea from them, and they do basically you can buy tokens that are equivalent to like 1 hour blocks. And so if you buy 2, 5, 10, whatever, you can get a discounts. And then you get access to their portal for like 3 months, which has premium learning resources. It has weekly team calls and webinars, and so worth it. I mean, and like the consulting fees, I would say if you're new to that kind of work, oh, that would be a little alarming of like a price. But especially when you get into like these kinds of analytics, so deeply important that these people exist, and you can just book through their website. You can see the schedule of all of their staff who are like all trained in all these applications. And I'm not just like selling him, but like the system they've created. You pay up front, It's 3-month timer on it. It doesn't sit around forever. Use it, lose it, whatever. And then people know when they can have access to the calendar and like get help with their stuff, which is so good. So I love that idea. And so project, I want to get that set up for myself because that solves like 16 of my problems. My functional targets is I want to finally film an introduction video for Peachy Profitability, because if you go to my website, there's no YouTube, Instagram, Peach, like website anywhere is there a video that just says who I am, what I provide, what problems I solve, what like how to get in contact. That doesn't exist. So I want by the end of the month, that will be posted on my new YouTube channel, Office Hours with Amber. So I'm now getting I think if I put it, I wonder, Office Hours. I don't know if it'll tag there. Let me go to. So I will be moving my platform. What? Oh, it's the @ symbol. There we go. Okay. Jack, thank you so much for subscribing. The problem is like I only have 300 subscribers on this current channel, and it's time to move. I need to have a personal account for my personal business, and I need to have a professional account for my professional business, because I don't want to create more friction for people who are looking for what I do to be mixed in with like videos from college that I did and like random stuff from random jobs. And I think I want to start doing more creative ventures. It's hard to, I like want to start, like I'm playing more video games. I'm reading more books. I like have so much more to say, but I don't want to muddy up Peachy Profitability, which Peachy Profitability's handle is taken. So if we can figure out who has that, I want to steal it back. But Office Hours with Amber is going to be fine. But anyway, so I'll be moving to the new channel. I'm just nervous because I'm like, all of my stuff lives here, but I'll be moving the playlists over. So it'll look like they all live on that channel, but really it'll just start to be posted from there. So that's exciting. But this channel will still exist, and I'll still be doing I'll be actually more excited to post more video game nonsense on here. But I don't know. I'm trying to create this a gap between Amber and Peachy Profitability, but it's nervous. Okay, I digress. We have talked so much. So, cool thing. Functional targets. We're going to do an intro video, and I want to start posting YouTube shorts because apparently AI and some other indexing and Google and something blah. I want to get better at using the clips from this to get more people to watch it. Not in a way of like, follow, and subscribe, and the bell, and more video, more numbers, It's more of I just want more people to know that my services exist, because the whole thing is I want to help more people. So what I'm recognizing is I also love video creation. So it's Amber, just post more. Stop caring about if it's it could be edited better or said better or whatever. Just get over it, yeah. Okay. And then I have my financial targets, which it's not really the biggest crazy idea, but my financial goal for the next 3 months is I want to make $5,000. I want basically my revenue target for the next 3 months is $5,000 per month. Do you have anyone using the clip feature on your lives? Not really. I don't really know how to do it during the live, but I also, I don't think I do a lot of clippable things, but I have Opus Clip that I just started using that auto uploads the video at high quality and then pulls out the best timestamps to just pull funny things out. And so I'm testing that to see if I like it. If anything, it at least it does. The problem with editing a podcast, podcast live stream is you have to go back and watch the full hour of content, even at 2x speed. That's 30 minutes of watching this. And then I'm picking out some subjective parts that I think are funny. So it just saves so much time to get good time stamping from Opus Clip to just be able to post afterwards. Now I just need to get in the habit of Tuesday afternoons is when I pick my clips, and then you can like auto schedule them on like each day of the week and like what platforms you want to put it on. So yeah, Opus Clip is pretty interesting. You clipped me. Thank you. I'm going to figure out what that means later. Okay. So we have I have at least my functional project and financial targets for the next 3 months. And during that time, I'm still going to be working on my backlog and like pushing things to the top and like having like numbers based stuff. But, anyways, so that was a pretty big insight, I would say. Side note, we've got Officers with Amber. We already talked about that. Thank you for following. And then let's get to the actual brass tacks of what we're doing. So, we don't need those. We don't need that anymore. So I've got my backlog of all of these tasks, and in the bio, if you have any like cool ideas or things that you think that I should work on or that I should put in the backlog of things I should try, feel free to add them. There's a form. Or if you want to say things in the chat, you let me know. Honestly, I should learn how to clip things, but I went ahead and copied these into the wheel of names, and we're going to see what I'm doing today. We're 30 minutes in, so I'm really giving myself a great heads up. Let's shuffle it a few times and spin. It heard me. Okay. I'm glad I already talked about it because that actually saves a little bit of time. Okay, great. Let's do it. We're going to start probably with our girl Claudia and just see what kind of... So I've been on the hunt for client portals, or rather token systems, and I've been looking for an answer to this question for a while because Good Trade Depot, we've needed client portals, and that's why I liked Airtable for a little while, but the scalability of their client portals is a little tough because it's like pay per user, and the bundle of like, if they even edit one thing, they get billed at the same rate as like collaborators, not just guest portal users. And if you're going to have a gazillion customers, like that just doesn't make sense. And so I, with Gap Consulting, saw that they also do Softer. And so Softer originally used to be like key for interfaces and forms, and they call it data agnostic, where database agnostic, where you can pull in data from all over different data sources. And you can do that in Airtable as well, but it never had a database section where you could just like house it there. But now it has that. And so I've been flirting with the idea, because the cool thing about Softer is that they do like per 100 get like users, like bundles of big stacks of users. And their pricing is like $50 a month or $150 a month for like huge bundles of users. And they've got like, it's like almost feels too good to be true. And so I've been trying to like not uplift our entire system again, because I just got everything kind of set up in Airtable. But the nice thing is like the system of how things interact wouldn't change. It's just the platform it's housed on and the price of that software. And eventually I just need a software engineer to just build something for us. But in the fucking time of vibe coding, I cannot be bothered. So I'm going to let that fizzle out first before I start like going crazy. But let's start. Let's just see what our girl Claudia's got to say about it. Hi, Claudia. Also, let me know if you can't read the stuff on my screen because I put my like display settings at 125%, but it still looks like a little choppy grainy because it's so small. So you let me know, Jack. Also, so glad you're awake at this hour, but I hope you're sleeping properly. And let's do this. Do 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 do. Oh, Jack, other thing. Have you done the FMWC stuff? The case? I tried my very first FMWC case today. That was whack as bonkus. I didn't realize that. I think I should have started with like there's like a three parts of it, and I should have started with the part that actually had like the big model to it, and then I could have done the other stuff. But it was like I was like, is it super easy? Like the first questions, I'm like, is it super easy on purpose, or am I like good at this? But then I got to the financial model section, I was like, oh, not for me. But I'm gonna keep trying because I think it's a good skill to have. Okay. Clarity Flow, Honeybook. One thing about me is I hate Zapier. I hate Zapier so much. Not because it's not an interesting thing. It's more of the problem with Zapier is they sell some of their automations can be done natively in the systems that they're connected with. So instead of saying like in Wix, there's like automations inside of Wix, but instead, or like certain applications, and instead of just saying, hey, this is actually smarter for you, like being a good advocate of good automation and saying, hey, you should do this inside of your native platform and then do this part in Zapier, they just automate all of that stuff between everything. And then they charge people like basically like the Zap token, whatever, for all of the different automations. And I don't like it. Didn't sign up this year for the first time. Middle question used to be fun, not very financing, and now it's heavy financing. I would say the middle question in this last one, like I got by pretty okay because they had most of the equations, but belated goals for this year. This month I'm starting Jack and her robots videos with my training. Cool. Wait. Very cool. I want to watch. Side question, Jack, is have you been, and I'm guessing when you're talking about robots, you're talking about OA robot or some derivative of like micro automation. If not, let me know. Side note on that is, are you finding other ways to utilize OA robot outside of the gaming community? So for instance, like, do you have consulting robot or data analytics robot or like things that you use on the side, or primarily still for, like what are your key uses of OA robot right now? Full solved cases. Wow, nice. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Clarity Flow. Coaching software platform. I'm not a coach though. The other thing is I really don't want to live in like 6 different places. I did presentation bot for my presentation, but not working still. Dang. So nothing to really use it for. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna try softer. YOLO. YOLO. I need to try it anyway because I want to try it for Good Trade Depot. So let's just, because I heard with the cool thing with softer is like there's e-sign for forms, and there's also you can integrate like Stripe and like credit card processing inside of it, which is huge. Mom, hi, nice to see you. Did set up some automating stuff in UK chapter before I left. Very cool. I want to kind of create like OA robot stuff for like helping my coworkers do some stuff in Excel, but yeah, I have to build it first, which is the tough part. Okay. Let's do this. We're diving right in. Actually, let me change the words. We're going to call this the quote unquote consulting portal. And I'm going to change the YouTube name while I'm at it. Because if I don't do it now, then I'm never going to do it. Side note, Miss Jack and Mom, what are our goals this month? You said your goal was you're using this time to submit belated goals. Yay, good. Good. And Mom, I know you've been working on trying hard things or doing hard things. So what kind of hard things have we been up to? Consulting portal. Start Excel training again. Got my mojo back. Honestly, I don't know what was in the universe. My mojo was gone until last week as well. I think it's got to do something astrologically because I was... Oof. Oh, you finished the baby blanket. Wonderful. Mom, you should send me a picture. And then I'll show it if you send it. You don't have to if you don't want to, though. Okay. We're just going to go barreling headfirst into... Okay, let's see a template. Okay. Portal. Full moon. Oh. Yep. Oh, wait. Content. Wait. Let's see. Consulting. Consult. Let's just look at portals. Let's look at portals. Tasks, requests, videos. Portals. Projects, clients, teams, invoices. I like invoices. Partner. People, deals, collateral training. I'm just trying to find one that like speaks to me. Freelancer management. Oh, I'm not managing freelancers. I am the freelancer. Member communities. Oh, my mom sent me the picture. Oh my gosh, cute. Okay, this is going to be not the super most helpful. But this is it up on the side of the couch. It's like a beigey brownie. And then it goes along with this cute stuff. And of course, I'm not doing this any justice, but how cute. And the thing about my mom's baby blankets, let me get this so clear. She made one for my dog. Well, I don't know if you know you made it for Banjo, but I made it for Banjo. Look how cute it is. And the thing about this, Mom, I don't know if you knew, but this is one of the only other the colors that like dogs can see. So I like did the colorblind filter on or like the dog filter on TikTok of like what colors they can see. This lit up. And so that's why Banjo loves it. Oh, hi, sleepy boy. He is very grumpus because I don't know what was going on downstairs, but there was lots of noise. Okay, I'm probably going to go longer than an hour today because I took so much time to yap at the beginning, but I'm excited. Okay. Secure Stripe payments. Application. Filter courses. And it works with Airtable. Okay, wait, cute. Okay, maybe. I liked that one. Choosing cast toy stuff. Cool. Okay, I think this might be it. Not specifically. Well, that's kind of interesting because it works. This template has like the data is stored in. Hey, Eric, don't you worry. You're right on time for me actually doing work. So, God bless. So the cool thing is when you're using Softer with Airtable, Airtable can like house a lot of the data, and of course, all of my Excel besties are gonna like punch me in the head. If Microsoft was better with guest user access, payment processing, I would use it. But unfortunately, I'm just a girl. So anyways, because I'm using a template, it gives me some sample data, and some sample data that it gives that like leans into this application to be able to work. So it gives you like the data can be stored in Airtable, and it's just me, the services. So that's where I could say like consulting hour. We'll sort that out later. 150. Whoa, where did it go? Oh, I like the Oh, wait, maybe this is like a public template because I don't think they meant to put all this stuff in there. Oh, that's funny. Oh, yeah, this definitely feels like it's supposed to be. Yeah. Okay. Anyways. Okay. Okay. Now, this would kind of more so fall into like a click around and find out situation. But similar to Airtable, it's got like data. The cool thing about the users is you can then do like individual user groups, which is interesting. Let's see. Calendly. Which I'm not afraid of Calendly. That's not a big deal. Honestly, Calendly and Airtable and Stripe would be fine. And that's the thing. It's such a simple problem to solve. I'm like, how could I just set it up on my website? But then if I go to WordPress and I go to their plugins, all of their add-ins look like they're going to like sell my identity on the internet, and I can't describe why. And so I try to look for like, okay, on WordPress, who uses what to be able to sell like these kind of token services. Nobody has a good answer. Or it's like just for one small functionality, it's like $30 a month just to be able to do this small thing. And it's like, I'd rather die. And so it's tough knowing that there's a better answer out there. But I'm excited because I know that the Gap Consulting guys that I'm about to meet with have done this before. So if I start learning, that by the time I get there, I'll be easier. But I'm getting overwhelmed already. I kind of wish I could I think I just need to start from scratch. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. Start from scratch. Connect later. Don't even need it right now. I want a login. Cool. And then I wonder if there are like, how do you suggest? Whoa, that's cool. Because this page should only be visible if you can get past a login. Settings. I do like that you can connect it to your own custom domain though. And I have started using Make, even though it's the same. If I was to use one or the other, I would use Make over. Okay, let's guest collaborators, preview, theme, don't care. Oh, you can't even see my screen. Sorry. Hee hee. First time live streaming. Kind of nervous. Okay. Open the page. Pages. Settings. Forgive me, I do not see a visibility section. Maybe. Oh, okay. So, page settings. Okay. Utility pages. These are created based on your configurations and users dash settings. These are required for this app to function properly. So, okay. So these are like the error pages or like very specific pages, whereas these are like pages they would actually be seeing if they were logged in to the portal itself. And the weird part is it like operates very similarly to a website. So it's like, it begs the question, should I be just investing more time in WordPress to be able to make my own client portal instead of paying whatever amount? We're just going to make a decision. Okay. What I would like to do is just see if I can add something where, okay, you get out of there. Form. Let's see if we can add something. Hey Matt, how are you? This is softer, so if this goes well, this might be a new home for the platform, but there's just infinite editability, whereas the interfaces in Airtable don't, but I don't want to uproot everything until I have to, so. Simple checkout form, block. Payment. Ooh. So, oh, wait. Available on basic plan. Basic. So, and that's where the cool thing about this is like you can have 20 app users for $50 a month. Whereas right now we're paying like 30, 40, 30-ish per person, and we have a team of 7. So it like is ballooning so fast. Extend free trial. Ugh. Get away from me. Okay. Well, I kind of want to just Okay, I've at least taken the stab at getting it open, which is nice. And I think I can accomplish this before Monday. And honestly, 50, like, if this does everything that I think it does, I could probably move Peachy off of Airtable to save myself like that money and then put it towards this because it has the database functionality, especially when you're not using it for like that craziest stuff. Okay, I'm just going to keep tinkering around in here and we'll see what else we can do. Okay, let's look. Let's look. Item details. So, what even are you? This is all fake data from the other day. Whoa. Let's just see what their data stuff looks like. She's a little cuter. Let's see what options they have. URL. Don't see UPC. Barcode. Okay. That's a big one. In Airtable, they do have barcode, which is nice. Everything else looks pretty similar. Their views are not as okay, so with Softer, their database section was only like implemented in June last year, whereas Airtable's kind of been around the block for a while. So it's nice to see that it's not like all completely readily available because I think they probably get around the view problem, like some of these problems by like having better interface stuff, but I could see why people would be less interested in that. But the nice thing is this can be the front end. Like I could house all my data in Airtable. Like I could have like 2 users in Airtable and then have like, so that would be like 20, 30, 40, that'd be 40 to 50, 60, under $100 to keep like admin level users in Airtable to build the infrastructure of the data and then use Softer for all of the front end like interaction with the data. And then that's like in totality, like 200, 300 per month instead of like ballooning $600, $700, $800 a month. So I'm glad that I took the steps forward to just open Softer and see what happens. And I think that it will be a good, even if it's the wrong, like it's not the right answer long term, I think just implementing it, getting used to the token system, and then being able to like iterate off of that is going to be helpful. And learning some of these softwares is going to be helpful because they interact with everything. And I'm sure there's going to be more clients in the future that need to do something very similar. So I digress. Okay. I successfully did a lot and a little today. If you have any suggestions on what do you think that I should do next, I am going to... I'm so lost. Let me grab some links. Oh my gosh. If my computer could go any slower. How are we lost? Okay, the key thing that I need you all to know that you're on the call is that I'm going to be migrating over to a new YouTube channel. So I'm going to drop the link. So I suggest everyone go follow this account because that's where I'm going to be. I think next week I might do one more week because I have it scheduled on here, but then I'll be transferring everything over to the new one. And then additionally, if you would like to submit any ideas on things I should try, business systems, things to investigate, there is an Airtable link to a form where you can submit good ideas. Or if there's questions that you have, need help with, whatever, also a good place to put those. I think that's it. I think my brain completely fell out of my ass at the very end there, but I appreciate you guys all being here. I'm going to go take a stiff nap because the 9 to 5 life was never for me. So I'm blessed that the day is now done. I'm going to probably head to Discord for just a little bit, but then I'm going to go to bed. But anyways, okay. Thank you for coming. I will TTYL. I don't know when this is going to end.